Thank you for tuning into the Faceless Podcast. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. Feel free to call me whatever you want, as long as it's not I. The likelihood is high that I'll get back to you. Guys, I had to just do... Do you know why I'm doing another intro? Because I was 34 minutes into recording this exact same video and my camera just decided to bug out. It decided it doesn't want to work with me today. Subscribe, guys. So I'm not even going to do the normal one. Subscribe, share. Help me get this to the point where I can actually get proper equipment instead of doing everything on my phone. But yeah, we are leveling up though. Slowly. We've got a microphone now. Yeah. We've got a background now. And it's being held together by God's grace. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Anyone who's ever had to re-record a voice note knows the feeling that I'm feeling right now. The passion, everything. Like, my hair was more combed than this when I started. Let me just give it a quick rub. My beard was more combed than this when I started. Let me just give it a little once over. So, but with the emotion and the passion, beard is going left, it's going right. But anyways, it happens for a reason, I guess. Let's get into this. Before we actually get into it, I want to say a special thank you to my friend Clarence from CK Talks Money. Who we recorded a podcast, which would be the first audio-only podcast, which will be available on all podcast platforms. That will be out on Friday. What I'm going to do is release about 26 minutes of it on Friday as well on YouTube. And if you want to listen to the rest of it, it's about 2 hours long in total. We go through some fantastic topics and we just catch up. It's been my friend for a long time and he's doing something positive. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. You've got that to look forward to. So yeah, that's my friend Clarence from CK Talks Money, and that's coming out on Friday. I look forward to hearing you lots of feedback on that as well, and hopefully, well, the long-term goal is to just build up those long-form podcasts. You haven't got any more excuses. You can't say, I couldn't log on to YouTube because I was watching something else, I wanted to play a game. You could do it all now. Like, you could do it once these audio onlys start coming out. You can listen while you're playing your game. But yes, it goes without saying, scroll up, like, subscribe, share, spread this message. If you like what I'm doing, yeah, do share it with people. This topic I wanted to get into, this is a very, very important topic. You know me already. I'm not someone that likes to just jump into things. What's this pop-up? I'm not someone that just likes jumping into things straight away in terms of, this is a hot topic right now, let me just release because I want to get the headline. I like researching. I like waiting for the facts to come out. I like for more information to come out. Then I give you my opinion. Then at least when I do give you my opinion, you know it's well thought out. You know, I've given you my well thought out opinion. There's I'm not hunting for clicks. Like, I'm really not. I'm just giving you what I really think. So this is what's going on to our brothers and sisters over in Nigeria, the End SARS campaign. I'm normally... I don't like to do this social media activism where I just touch up on things just because everyone else is doing it. The reason I'm actually going into this is for a few... It'll become clear as we get into it. So number one, the main reason, I need to get this off my chest ASAP. I need to get this off my chest. So about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, someone that I know has posted the hashtag #EndSARS with a clip. So me being me, wanting more information, I've asked them, okay, what is SARS? I didn't even know what it was. I just knew it's got something to do with Nigeria and people are dying. I didn't know, is it another Boko Haram? I didn't know what is it. I did not know. Wait, what is all this? I didn't know what SARS was. So I've gone to someone who's claims to be spreading awareness, spreading the word. What is it? Can you give me some information? The response I got was Google it. Just Google it. That's the response that I got. That annoys me so much, because what is the point of you sharing and saying you're bringing awareness to a movement or an organization if when asked or probed for information, all you're going to say is Google it? What kind of nonsense is that? Like, it actually upsets me. Like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm actually upset. This is one of the reasons why I said, you know what, It got to a point where there's been some developments. I want to get some awareness out. I want to make this video. But what I'm not going to do is just put a hashtag up and just say Google it. If you're one of those people that's doing that, what is the point? What do you aim to achieve? Apart from virtue signaling and letting the rest of your friends know that, yes, you're Mr. Cool person, you're in with the political trends, what's happening, what is your actual purpose? Just hashtagging and sharing if when probed for information, you do not provide any. You're taking the Michael. You're taking the Mick. That's what you're doing. You're taking us for idiots because you want to seem like Mr. Activist, but really and truly, you're doing it for likes. That's what I think. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, I don't care. You're doing it for likes. Because if someone asks you about all my friends can vouch for me. Whenever we discuss or debate a topic, regardless how contentious or how trivial it is, I always like to bring evidence. When asked for more information, I will always point you where I got my evidence to be able to speak the way I spoke from and why I believe in what I believe in. I would not just tell you to Google it. That annoys me the most because you're just talking for talking's sake and you're saying take my word for it. We can never go anywhere in life just saying take my word for it. So if you're one of those people and you truly care about ending SARS, about making change, making at least the least you can do, because I understand not everyone can be frontline. Not everyone can be frontline. If you want to spread awareness, then make people aware. If someone asks you, what is this movement you're talking about, at least give them some information. Because for you to spread it, unless you're just a fraud, for you to be able to spread or even put this hashtag or even promote whatever material, you've done some research. You've been convinced by something. At least share that information. And you've helped actually spread awareness in the movement. The reason it's annoying, this is why it's annoying, because obviously I'm no one. I'm just some guy that's screaming into a microphone, a cheap microphone, into his phone with a ring light around it on YouTube. I'm no one. However, this person doesn't know that. I could have been the son of a prime minister. I could have been the son of a billionaire. I could have been a billionaire myself. I could have been someone who could have impacted real change. And imagine if with your busy schedule, you don't really know what's going on. You flip through your socials. You've seen something. It's caught your eye. What is that? They tell you, Google it. I could go, okay, yeah, I'll get around to that later on. I might not have... You've potentially stopped someone from being able to get involved because you just said Google it. That annoys me. Now I've got that over my chest. If you're one of those people that are doing that and you're doing it for clout, then yeah, I don't know for you. But if you genuinely care about the people who are suffering, the people that are getting killed by the SARS unit, at least give people that inquire some information. I'm not saying some people can get involved with money. Some people can be on the streets protesting. Some people can actually make inroads in government. Like there's some MPs actually that I wanted to get the names of, but I completely forgot the name. It's a black MP, because she was, again, standing against critical race theory. That's how I came across her. And she was saying, yo, we're discussing this in government. This is being discussed. So it's not being ignored by British government anyway. But then if you want more action to get taken and action to get taken quicker, spread knowledge, spread information, not just a hashtag. Not just yes, because what will happen is when you click on that hashtag, unless someone has put information on there, all it's going to show you is other people who've also put that hashtag. You're not actually helping anyone who's getting killed back in Nigeria. Now, you could turn around and say, Shepherd, you don't even have that many followers. Who are you really speaking to? You don't even have that many subscribers. Your platform is weak. So what makes you different? Well, what I'm going to try to do is at least give you some information to walk away with. Hopefully my camera doesn't bug out again, because if it does, I'm just going to jump out the window and we're calling it a day. I've put out that disclaimer. I've already put it out. So now, this is a very, 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 very serious topic. Let's get into this. So what is SARS? I didn't even know what it was. What is it? So SARS is the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. So this was set up in Nigeria in 1992. So how this came about, based on the rudimentary research I've been able to do, is there was a colonel that from the army, the Nigerian army, that was killed as a result. Was killed by the police. Sorry, at a checkpoint. If you don't know what checkpoints are, they're basically certain points strategically placed by the police where they will stop random vehicles or stop a certain type of vehicles. For example, if there's a high, there's a high car theft in the area of a certain of luxury cars, for example, then they'll have a checkpoint near the area and just randomly stop luxury cars just to make sure everything's all right. And I've put that very, very nicely because we all know what we call them in Zimbabwe is Tora Mari United. Take Money United. That's the football team. If there's a football team, that's what they'll be, because we all know those checkpoints are just there to find a reason to give you a ticket for something. If Nigeria is anything like Zimbabwe, my Nigerian brothers and sisters, if that's the case, let me know. Because in Zimbabwe, we already know they will find a reason. It does not matter. Like, there's you have to have 3 different number plates. You need a number plate on your windscreen. You need a fire extinguisher. You need it's madness. So, going back to the story, I digressed a little bit. So basically, this Nigerian colonel was killed. And by the way, I'm not an expert in this field, by the way. I'm just trying to give you some information. If you are an expert and I get any of this information wrong, please correct me. Don't just then go away and go, oh, this guy didn't know what it was. Please correct me, because I do want, like, even if it means DMing me some more information, some better information, I'm more than happy to make a correction, because what I don't want to do is steer anyone wrong. I'm just trying to give some information here. So, yeah, it was so, after this colonel got killed at this checkpoint by the police, the information eventually got back to the army. The army said, we need to avenge our colonel. And basically all the police went into hiding, either fled or were caught by the army, or just went into hiding. So what's now happened as a result of having a lack of police in these checkpoints, crime started to increase in those areas. So SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, was then set up in late 1992 to deal with crimes associated with robbery, motor vehicle theft, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and firearms. So it was a part of the Forced Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department. And it was headed by the Deputy Inspector General of the Police. At the time, I think it was Anthony Ogbizi. I hope I said that correct. So again, this is just basic Wikipedia search. So that's how SARS came into being. So based on kind of what I've learned about this unit, was initially they weren't even allowed to wear police uniforms. They weren't allowed to open carry. They weren't even allowed to be put in marked vehicles. They just had to be so they just had to operate covertly and try to attack crime. So even though the intentions of SARS was good at its inception, right now that doesn't matter. I'm just letting you know this. I'm just trying to give you some context. Right now, that doesn't matter. But yes, so what's now happened is, because of a lack of checks in terms of no one to be able to check their power, I think it started with like 15 people or something, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, because of a lack of checks, so government checks, people that could check this unit, it basically just grew, and it became tyranny. It became a mafia. It is now a mob. They're extorting people. They are just killing people. I've seen videos of them literally just dragging someone out of a compound and just shooting and killing him. There's no contact. It wasn't like the person was fighting back like what we've seen in America when Jacob Blake, for example. This was, we've come into a compound, we've dragged you away from everyone else, and we just shot you dead. And I'm walking back to the compound like everything's normal. So they're thugs, to put it nicely. They are thugs. They are terrorizing the country. They are killing innocent people. And the Nigerian people have had enough. Now, this information is already out there. There's people, fantastic people that have made videos. I think it's the Adana and family, if I'm not mistaken, or Adana and the family, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put a video in below. She does a fantastic job of explaining what SARS was, what it is, for layman, dumb people like me. Even I understood it. So I'll put it in the comments below. Please do check it out, as well as this video, and just to give you some more information. So now what's happened is, the Nigerian people have had enough. They've had enough, and there were some incidents that happened. I mean, so I mean, even I think going back to like 1997, 2010, there's some 2011, 2016 here. I'm seeing incidents that happened which were notable enough to even be mentioned here, of where SARS were abusing their power, or even just outright just acting outside of the remit of their power, so just breaking the law, but there's no one to check them. So what's now happened is people are mobilizing and saying we need to end SARS. So the End SARS movement did not start this year. It's been going on for a long time. Now, this is when the government starts to take you guys for idiots, because what they're doing is, apparently SARS has been ended 4 times, if not more. 4 times. So this is the cycle. They get a bit excited and they start to be reckless to the point where it's not even, people can't take it anymore. And if you know Africans, well, naturally we just want to be peaceful. We just want to be peaceful. So to see people get to the point where they're saying, you know what, I'm willing to lose my life, we need to protest, they've had enough. So what now happens is the government says, okay, we're going to disband SARS. What? I can't. Sorry, guys, I'm fresh. We're going to disband SARS. One of the things they've done, and this has taken an absolute Michael Jordan. Like, this has taken an absolute Mickey Flanagan. Because they've disbanded SARS, but then have started SARS with the same people. They're actually taking you for a 2-year-old. So I can understand the anger and the protest, because it is the exact same people that were involved in the beginning who are doing this. And it's now and this is another point that was brought up by the Adana and the family. I think the channel is called, the lovely lady on there. And she said, through these checkpoints, I think 1 year they managed to collect 60 million, that's United States dollars, from checkpoints. So it's now become a money-making scheme. And why it's annoying as well is there is no way in hell that the powers that be haven't authorized this. It doesn't work. You see, when you're dealing with these governments, the African governments, they independent what? Someone high up has had to put a rubber stamp on this unit. Now, you could say maybe they're just far removed from what's going on the ground level. They're not being told what's happening. But I highly doubt that. Someone somewhere is turning a blind eye. So when people are now protesting saying, look, this needs to be ended and he needs to go right to the top to end it, what's now happened this time again? I think it's 1st of October 2020. They have ended SARS. Again, taking the absolute Mickey Mouse, they're trying to replace it with SWAT. Let me tell you what SWAT means. Where is it? Where is it? Let's find out what SWAT means. Okay, cool. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Okay, Special Weapons and Tactics. I think that's what SWAT means anyway. But people are not having it no more. So they've said we're still protesting, which leads me on to my next point. I'm going to put this clip into the description section. Please do check it out. This is an interview conducted by the president of the Senate in Nigeria and the Speaker of the House. They're saying, yeah, we've had a meeting with the president. He's lent us he lent us a listening ear or whatever they called it, and they said, yes, he's heard the people, we are doing something about it. And they almost caught me. Let me not lie to you. They almost caught me. I almost thought, you know what? Well done. The protests are over. Everybody go home. Then I think it must have been big man upstairs saying, yo, pay attention. Like, don't pay attention to this. So I'm listening, and I'm like, hang on. Does the tone of this people sound a bit off to you? So I played it back listening to the words again. And effectively what they're saying is, the president has heard you. We are going to do something about it. But these things take time. Effectively, we've heard you. We are going to do something about it. But when? Your guess is as good as mine. That is unacceptable. That is completely unacceptable. Because they've been through this. They've already been through. We'll take your word for it. And we'll see how it goes. The people are suffering. It is unacceptable to even conduct such an interview. If you know these people that I'm talking about, the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate, when they're thanking the President for just an audience and nothing has been done, it's, yeah, we're going to listen. If you know, are they corrupt now? Are they corrupt politicians? Let me know in the comment section below, because something is shifty, something's dodgy, I'm not believing it. And what they're saying, this is what made me think. So they're saying, look, everyone go home now. Basically what they've said is, yeah, you've made your point, go home. But nothing's been done yet. They're like, yeah, no, if we don't do nothing in 2 weeks, then come back to us. Which I thought, you know what, kind of fair point, because what they're saying is, we've heard you, we've made your point, we've took some action, we're taking more action. Now let everything go back to normal, and then what we'll do is, if we don't stick to our word, call us out on it. Sounds like a fair request. Until yesterday in Lagos, there was another protest, peaceful protest, by what I've been able to see. Now, in this peaceful protest, apparently there was instructions given by someone, I don't know who. And what I'll do is I'm going to put another clip in the comments of this lady and what she does. Again, it's difficult. It's really, really sad to even hear it. The pain, you could just say the pain. She delivers food and drinks to the protesters, on the front line. She wasn't able to do so. Why? It will become apparent. So there was, in Lagos, there was some protests, peaceful protests that were happening. And apparently it got to near 6 o'clock, I think. Just the same unit just started shooting and killing people. Now, there is another video I've seen where it seems there's a blackout and all you can hear is shots. I don't know if this is the same incident or a different incident. But based on what I've seen, the videos that I'd seen about what happened yesterday, it was daylight. So I don't know if this is just the same, but from later on, apparently we're talking 20 plus deaths. So how can the president of the Senate and this Speaker of the House tell people to go home when the very reason they're protesting, it's still happening? How can you tell them to go home? How can you tell them we've heard you? Clearly you haven't. Unless they don't listen to you no more. Who's this now killing protesters? It hurts my heart. And I genuinely wish I had the means to be frontline or to go out there. It hurts my heart. You see, when I made those videos earlier on in the year and I said, yo, this is injustice. This is when we need to stand together. This is when I'm calling out every Black Lives Matter activist who says, yeah, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Every single, whatever you are, if you truly believe in justice, just basic justice. I'm not talking social justice. This justice does not come with any caveats. It doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white. If you just believe in justice and you believe in people having human rights, people should have the right to peacefully protest. We need to be standing behind this, not just sharing a hashtag. Spread out the information. Now, another reason why I wanted to make, and rest in peace to everyone that's lost their lives, and my thoughts and prayers do go to everyone who's on the front line in Nigeria, everyone who's lost a loved one because of this, because of these thugs, and they are thugs, they need to be called thugs. My prayers go out to them. And I'm hoping democracy works, and the light that's been shone by a lot of different people, the information that's been brought to light by a lot of different people really makes a positive difference. Let this be a lesson to the West, what I said earlier. Let this be a lesson to the West. Those people that want to toy with communism and socialism, this is what happens. You get things like this. This is what happened in Nazi Germany with the brown shirts. This is what happened in Mussolini's Italy. I forgot the name of them. Like, this is, wait, was it the brown shirts? Wherever communism has been, socialism has been, this is what happens. Please, people in the West who are toying with this idea, learn, please learn. This is happening in Zimbabwe. Police brutality. The only difference is I don't think the death rates are as high in Zimbabwe, but the exact same thing for the exact same reasons. In Namibia, apparently it's exact. We've played the wrong politics here, guys. We've gone for communism because I understand the capitalist system was that, oh yeah, this is what the colonizers done, let's stray away. We need to rethink our politics. It's not a coincidence that it's happening in a lot of African countries. We need to rethink our politics. Now, I digress. I don't even want to take attention away from what's going on to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. My other main point why I wanted to make this video is to highlight and bring attention to the new hashtag, because I believe that the hashtag EndSARS will start to fade out, and the new hashtag that if you're going to be sharing information, if you're going to be discussing and speaking on this topic, is hashtag 545, which is the number 5 and then Foxtrot Oscar Romeo. I don't know why I said it like I don't know these. I could do the whole alphabet. Foxtrot Oscar Romeo, and then the number 5. So 545. Now what that is a list of demands that the protesters have brought up to say, look, if you want us to go home, we need these reassurances. We need this to happen for us to be reassured to know we're going to go home and tomorrow it's not going to be the same thing. So let me just take you through some of these the 5 demands. I'll take you through all of the 5 demands. If you're going to be hashtagging EndSARS, please don't forget this hashtag as well, with the information that you'll be putting out there, with the people that you'll be showing out there. There is a list of demands that the government, so if you're going to be putting pressure on your local MPs, on whoever you're putting pressure on, do put pressure on them to make sure that these demands get met by the Nigerian government, and then that way we have made progress. So number 1, the immediate release of all arrested protesters. So every single protester that was protesting who has been arrested by the special armed robbery squad, aka the thugs, needs to be released. And that's a bare minimum. ASAP, they need to be released, because if you know anything about Africa and how the police operate in Africa, you disappear, no one knows where you're gone. You see all of these rights. We say we've got rights over here. We've got the right to this, the right to that. When the police want to be, when the corruption is there, you don't have none of those rights. Human rights, you do not have none of those rights. And this is, again, let this be a lesson. The reason why us in the West or in America or wherever you are, you can say, I've got a right, is because we believe, I'm a Christian, so I'm never going to hide that. We believe these rights were given to us by God, not by government. Even if you're not a Christian, you're an atheist, agnostic, whatever you are, these rights are inalienable. No one can give you these rights. They're innate in everyone. You're born with these rights. So when we're talking human rights, that's what they are. But when we are now toying with communism and socialism, the government gives you the rights. So what the government giveth, the government can taketh. And effectively, that's what happens. The government will take away your right to a fair trial because you believe the government gives you the rights. All of this fair trial, all of this due diligence, all of this due processing, they take that away. So this is what I'm talking about. The first thing, immediate release of all arrested protesters. That needs to happen. If you're going to speak to anyone and put pressure on your local MPs, putting pressure on whoever in the government it is, number one, release everyone who's been arrested as protesting. They're doing it in America. In America, the Black Lives Matter people that are burning down buildings are being released by the people over there. And they're actually causing damage. Our brothers and sisters in Nigeria are protesting peacefully. These people are actually burning buildings and causing damage, and they're getting released. So if you can advocate for that, surely we can put pressure on this one. So that's number one, the immediate release of all arrested protesters. Number two, justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families. That is very key. Let me let that one sink in. That is highly important. Every single person who's been killed by one of these thugs needs justice. Every single one of these thugs that's been out here killing people needs to be brought to justice. Compensation needs to be provided for the families. Now, you're never going to bring a life back. The least you can do is compensate these families, every single one of them. The least you can do is lock these people away who are out here killing their own citizens for power, money, greed, whatever you want to call it. Murder. Let me not say kill. Murdering. That's what it is. Murdering every deceased victim who was murdered. And some of them might not even have been murdered. Some of them might be still alive, but they got maimed, they got disabled, they've got trauma. Every single one of them needs justice. So when we're now looking at what's the next steps, because technically SARS has been ended, what's the next steps? We need to make sure that these 545 are being held. We're sticking to them, because this is information that I don't think many people know. So that was number two, justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families. Number three, setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reports of police misconduct within 10 days. Now, it says within 10 days. I don't know. Can someone clarify what this means for me? Someone who might have a little bit more information. So do they mean within 10 days of this statement coming out, or do they mean so this independent body will be set up here on out and it investigates any police misconduct within 10 days of the allegation being made, or of the complaint being made, or of the investigation being open? Because if it's within 10 days of this being released, I don't see that happening. I still think it's a good idea. I still think it's something that, again, it's their demands that they said, this is what we want. We need to be sticking, making sure these politicians are accountable. These people that are saying, yeah, we're going to go speak on your behalf, we're going to go do this on your behalf, making sure that they know what the people on the ground are actually asking for. So if it's within 10 days of the misconduct taking place and being reported, then yes, there needs to be some timely manner. It can't just be I reported something and then we'll get back to you when we get back to you. There needs to be actionable, because what will happen is things will just get thrown away on the pile and just hope you forget, hope you get tired. Eventually, time's gone past, whatever evidence we needed is not there, this person's retired, whatever. So then you get the excuses. So if it's within 10 days of the report being made, then yes, that does make sense. So that's number three. Setting up an independent body to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reports of police misconduct within 10 days. So, number four, in line with the new Police Act, psychological evaluation and retraining to be confirmed by an independent body of all disbanded SARS officers before they get redeployed. Now, this is highly key. And this is a fundamental difference to the Black Lives Matter movement. Because the Black Lives Matter movement is saying defund the police. These are saying don't even defund them, retrain them, train them properly, psychologically evaluate them. Can they do the job? Have they been brave? Someone could have stepped into SARS with great intentions, but you get corrupted. That needs to be addressed. So, and I think that's a very, very, very important point. Psychologically evaluate every single one of them, whether there was good, whether there was anyone that's not getting sent to prison, anyone that's not being prosecuted and wants to stay within the police system, extensive psychological evaluations, and extensive retraining. How to communicate, because what happens is if my college, I forget my college tutor's name, but I'll never ever forget what he told me. He said, Shepherd, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So if you train how to do something, you just get very efficient at doing that thing, how you trained it. So if you train the wrong technique, you won't get perfect at that skill. What will happen is you just get very efficient at doing the wrong thing. So the reason this retraining is key and is important is because some of these people, this might be the only way they know how to police. Now, what you don't want is these people being sent out to the community, different communities, and effectively engaging in the same behavior because they know no better. It's easy to just say, don't do this. But what happens is you get into reinvestment. What that means is in a pressured situation, you do what you've always done. Basically, your brain goes, this is how you react to this situation before. This is what's got you out of this situation before. React in the same way. That might not be the best, especially if they're coming from such a corrupt thug, mafia type organization. So retraining is important. It is key. Proper retraining. Now, this is a question you might want to ask. Is there any support that could be provided by the likes of Britain, America, for police training in Nigeria? If they wanted it, of course. Is that something we can ask? Can you go provide some assistance? Because regardless of what you think about British and American police forces, there is no argument they're better than SARS. And if you're willing to argue that, then you might need psychological reevaluation. There is no argument that the British police force and the American police force, with the flaws that they do have and need to work on, are better than SARS. So is that something maybe we can ask for? Is there some assistance that could be provided in terms of retraining these people, repurposing? So again, we're not giving up on them. Some of it might not, it's just how they were raised, it's just how they were taught to police. So retraining them. So before they get redeployed, retraining them. Anyone that doesn't want to be retrained to that high standard, just don't give them a job. You go do something else. As part of that, just go do something else. So that's number 4. So in line with the new Police Act, psychological reevaluation. Wait, have I read? Yeah, so in line with the new Police Act, psychological reevaluation, retraining to be confirmed by an independent body of all disbanded SARS officers before they can be redeployed. So that's number 4. Number 5, the last one, is the increase of police salary so that they can adequately be compensated for. Wait, what's this in a way? This is why I don't like sometimes in a way. Wait, let me see if I can get this off. Don't do this to me. Just go away. Okay, so the increase of police salaries so that they can adequately be compensated for protecting lives and property of citizens. Now, this is when I was talking about there's a fundamental difference between Black Lives Matter and End SARS, or the hashtag 545. Black Lives Matter want to disband the police. They want to defund the police. Hashtag 545 still understand there is a fundamental need for good policing in the community. So what they're saying is to stop people being easily influenced by these corruption, by the corruptible scenarios that they might find themselves in. And this will be the same as well in Zimbabwe and Namibia and South Africa, where you're getting paid peanuts to risk your life. You can't even feed your family with the money that you're getting paid. You're going to be more susceptible to corruption. It's just the fact of life. You're working these 50-hour weeks, putting your life in harm's way, and your overheads, your overlords, for lack of a better term, don't even appreciate the work you're putting in by giving you a decent salary. You're gonna be corrupt. I would be. Personally, I would be. I won't be at SARS level, but I might give someone a ticket and put it in my pocket. Instead of sending it, I might just, how much was that ticket? $50? Put it in my pocket. That's what I might do. But if you're getting a good wage to where that $50 is not even worth it because you're going to lose your job, lose great benefits, lose a great job, people are going to be less corrupt. People are going to be less... You're still going to find it because corruption is everywhere at all times, basically. But it makes it harder by giving people a job, a wage which adequately compensates them for risking their lives on a day-to-day basis. Remember, this is a special unit, so what they'll be dealing with is not just run-of-the-mill stuff. So that's number 5. That's the main reason that I wanted to make this video. So hopefully I've managed to give you some information with regards to what's going on. So we've got the SARS, a brief history of kind of how we've got there. SARS has now been ended as of October the 1st. So even if you're saying end SARS, technically it has been ended. It might get replaced with this SWAT unit. But then if it's going to be more of the same, that needs to get eradicated as well. And whoever you're speaking to, if you can't be bothered to give them the information, share this video with them. Share the other videos in the comments below as well. And I hope it's been at least been able to help. If you can donate money, I've not really looked at the charities in terms of donating, but if you can donate to support, if you know someone who's got a larger voice than myself, who can use this information to even give this a bigger platform. My main thing, I want to push that hashtag 545 to make sure we hold these politicians accountable to the promises or to the demands of the people. This is not a hostage situation. This is people saying, this is what we want in our country. And they're all very, very reasonable demands. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, for listening. I'm with my Nigerian brothers and sisters. Can this be a lesson to those in the West? Additionally, can this be a lesson as well to other countries who are suffering with similar issues? Peaceful protests do work. Do not give up. Some things are worth dying for, and I know it's easy for me to say that sitting behind the desk. Hopefully I'll never be in a scenario where I need to be called upon it, but I already know what principles I'm willing to die for. It's okay. Like, hopefully I don't want anyone else to die as a result of this, but it's only because of those people that have sacrificed their lives that it's got the attention that it's got. So hopefully we could do something and stop this madness, which is going out all around Africa, all around other countries in the world as well. But yes, so hashtag 545, hashtag EndSARS. Put your comments, put your thoughts in the comment section below. If you've got any more information that you wanted to send, that you feel like the people need to know, I'm more than happy to pass on that information. Even if you're someone that's saying, look, I've got this footage I was recording from the ground, but I just want help putting it out there, I'll be more than happy to share that on my platforms as well. Again, my Instagram is @TheFacelessPod. Feel free to message me, DM me, send me anything you have. Thank you very much for tuning in. I go by the name of Shepherd. My friends call me Sheps. Call me whatever you like. It's the Faceless Podcast. Have a good morning, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you.